Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. In just a moment, we'll have Andy Barron and Jared Keane join us. But right now, here are the latest Hiller happenings. On Tuesday, January 30th, Hiller Swimming celebrated senior night and hosted Ashland. Maureen and John were on the call.
They're calling Natalie Buffard. As I mentioned earlier, we've been seeing that girl on this deck for the last 15 years or something, some crazy number. Olivia Scalora, she started off her career swimming with her sister. And Eve Weatherhead, of course. She's graduating too, right? Eve Weatherhead?
Yes, these are all the seniors they're calling right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's Lucas Kaufman being called through the gauntlet there.
Oh, cute. Look at the crowns they made them.
Caleb Burke. I don't know. Is another Burke available for a swim
Yes,
next year?
Anna Burke.
Anna Burke. Okay,
she's currently on the team. She's a sophomore.
Yeah. Davis Pishoff? Yes, there he is. Okay, and then this must be Elias Gudrati.
Yes, and so I'll give you a quick information on, throughout the evening we'll pepper some facts about our seniors since it is senior night. Wait, oh.
Do they have any Ashland seniors?
It's very pretty, very graceful. Right, wasn't that a shirt one time about the TVL shirt, like swimming, the only stroke? Nice, beautiful. What did you get? You got a 2:11.85?
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
We'll say it after. Yeah.
We'll get it from the desk. All right, so that was Hopkinton came and won. They're very close to their best time.
Oh, they
it's
are?
hard to tell. They were trying to beat 2:11.78.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell from up here. So Hopkinton took first place, Ashland second, and Hopkinton third.
Come on, Olivia.
Wow.
The girl next to her has a tech suit on, but she's keeping right with her. Come on,
Come
Nick.
on, Liv. All right,
on,
this
Liv.
is
You
neck
got her,
and
you
neck.
got her.
Come on, Liv. You got this.
You got
come
it,
on,
you got
Liv.
it. Go,
Come on, Liv. All right, come on, Liv. Woo! Oh, that's too hard for me to call from here. I'll be curious to see what they say. The Ashland swimmer may have out-touched her. Pishoff. And I'll tell you, David Pishoff's favorite memory that he wanted to share.
John Belcher, right? Yeah. What was it?
All right, wait. The crowd, the Hopkinton crowd here is really cheering for Elias. He's on lap 11. So Davis Pishoff just finished in first place by more than half a length of the pool from the Ashland swimmer. Who's
The Hopkinton boys defeated Ashland 86-54, and they also followed up with a road win over Dover Sherborne 88-83 to finish the regular season with a record of 4-3. Hopkinton girls lost to Ashland 80-96 and lost to Dover Sherborne on the road 73-104. And the girls finished the regular season 3-5. Also that Tuesday, Hiller boys basketball took on Ashland. They got things rolling in the first half. Collected by DeLuca. Del Ponte.
Waits Ryan Ellie, yep.
Ryan Ellie to Dejan for three, yes! Dejan up to Willardson, now Del Ponte launches it across. Driving in, kicks it out. Del Ponte for three, yes!
Big one. Big one for Del Ponte right there.
Good. Pulled down by Dejan. Pantera. Dejan,
Wide open.
DeLuca, no good. Put, and Cho follows through.
Great put back.
No good, but a rebound. Marcinowski up with a reverse, no good. And it's pulled down by Borges. And now swatted out by Dejan, gets the steal. And puts it off the window and in. It was a 38-29 Hiller lead heading into the second half.
Yeah, and I don't want to say just like I said, but he's best when he's going to the basket.
Missed by Rudisil, collected by Willitson. Ionelli to the rack. Oh, can't finish. Grabs the rebound somehow, kicks it out. Dejan for three, yes! Hopkinton took the win over Ashland 72-50. Sam Pantera dropped a team-leading 22 points, while Sam Dejan added 19 points as the Hillers improved to 11-2 on the season. On Wednesday, January 31st, Hiller Boys Hockey celebrated senior night and took on Holliston. Tosca getting in front of Rots. Here comes the Hillers. A nice pass and a score for the Hillers. Adams feeds it to Connor Merkel, who pops it in. Here comes the Panthers on a breakaway. Rister, it's in. George Gabriel strikes. It was a 1-1 game heading into the second period. Top of the circle, there's a shot by Collery, and then off the rebound, Hayward puts it in. A great shot by Aiden Collery off the leg pad of Greenberg. It goes, and then James Hayward stuffs it in. Back up off the boards goes Lucas, and it's put in. A tremendous shot there, and we're knotted up at 2 apiece. Both teams net another goal apiece in the second, and it was a 2-2 game heading into the third period. Sent around the end boards. Getting out in front of it, Resnick. Racing back into Holliston territory, approaching, takes it and rings it in! What a beauty of a goal by Resnick! Off the face-off, good send away there by White as it splits 2 Panthers. One of the penalties has expired. Stolen by Hayward, takes a shot, oh! Hayward with a short-handed goal! What a shot! Unbelievable! Off the face-off, Ian Tosca sends it back. Hayward to Wynn. Wynn gets it into traffic. He was looking for Resnick. Hayward with it. Gonna move it up. Takes it and it's put in! Icing on the cake for the Hillers. The Hillers net 3 more goals in the third frame and take the win by a final of 5-2. The Hiller boys hockey team improved to 10-2-2 on the season. On Thursday, February 1st, Hiller Alpine Ski hit the slopes. Here's a look.
Time for bid number 1003, Brendan May, 38.38 on the red course number 805, Blake Murphy from Hopkinton. On the blue course number 806, Elsa Woodbury from Hopkinton. Time for number 1004, Ellie Hayden, 32.57. Time for number 905, Thomas Pulteney, 37.09. On the red course number 105, Tommy Robinson from St. John's.
The boys finished 3rd overall and the girls finished 4th overall. On the boys' side, JB Flynn came in 5th. Ethan Bogosian finished 24th and Blake Murphy finished 25th. On the girls' side, Lucy Mato finished 6th. Annalie Krantz came in 10th. and Delilah Mato finished 11th. On Friday, February 2nd, Hiller girls basketball hosted Norwood. It was a defensive, gritty game and a 3-1 Norwood lead heading into the second quarter. Off the mark, loose ball collected by Morad. Gets it over to Chorus. Up top, Blake. Here goes CC Becker driving in, kicks it out. Morad for three, no good. Norwood collects. Morad gets the lucky bounce in the corner. Norwood trying to open things up. They're going to take another three here, and this time hit Ariana Blake.
Yeah, I mean, the Hiller defense was scrambling. That's what happens when you don't get the rebound. When you allow them to get their offensive rebound like that, they get a time to reset. We were all out of position.
Oh, boy. Another steal. Up and in goes Morad.
Too easy. Too easy.
Norwood would end up taking the game 41-17. Norwood improves to 11-4. Hillers fall to 9-6. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this segment of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here. And right now I am joined by Andy Barron and Jared Keane to talk some NFL. Guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, Tom.
Oh, I'm just doing fantastic. I'd be better if we didn't have to deal with Taylor Swift going to the Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, you weren't very happy that the Ravens lost last week, Tom.
Yep.
Well, it wasn't really the Ravens' loss as much as some bets I lost, but we'll save that for another day or the off-air show. But crazy conference championship games. The Ravens choking once again. Lamar Jackson choking in the playoffs once again. Kansas City getting it done. Pretty much not what any of the country wanted, but that's what happened. And, I don't know if Lamar Jackson will ever be able to get beyond a conference championship at this point. It just seems every time he goes there, they just choke it away. And then in the NFC Championship, analytics cost the Lions a win. They had a 24-7 lead and blew it. So analytics once again costing the Lions. Guys, what are your thoughts about these conference championship games? Andy, let's start with you.
You cannot blow a 17-point lead. You just can't. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It looked like the Lions' time had finally arrived. A 24-7 lead going into the half, and you're thinking, my goodness, they are seriously going to go to the Super Bowl. The 49ers were dead in the water, and give them a lot of credit. If Brock Purdy, and let me tell you something, Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, that is an incredible tandem. Those are tough receivers in that 49ers team. You got Christian McCaffrey, but the Lions just blew it. Plain and simple. They blew it. You can't blow a 17-point lead. And 12 straight road playoff losses on the road. It's mind-boggling just how much more can this franchise take, really? I mean, it just dropped passes. I mean, they didn't know how to play football in the second half. And I don't know, just a bad loss. And you wonder how they're going to recover from that going into next year. But and also just what a dreadful performance by the Baltimore Ravens. Absolutely horrible. And look, give the Chiefs credit. They are the Patriots of this decade. They are. They're just no more ifs, ands, or buts. They get the job done. It's now 4 out of 5 Super Bowls for Mahomes. There's no more discussion. He's the guy right now. That's it. And if you want to win the AFC, you got to beat the Chiefs. Plain and simple. That's the way it's going to be.
Yep, I have to agree. There's no doubt that Pat Mahomes might be the next great one. I didn't think it would come this soon, but I think by the end of his career, if he stays healthy, there's a very good chance he's going to have very comparable numbers to Tom Brady at this point if he keeps going like he is. I was hoping that pretty much in the rest of my life, we'd probably never see anybody like that. But it came very quick. You have Brady, and now you got Mahomes, and I think a lot of people are kind of shocked at how quick it came. But there's no denying it anymore. I mean, the Chiefs, when you watch them in the playoffs, look like the Patriots did in their glory days. Um, so here it is, the Chiefs, next great thing, Mahomes, the next great thing, and I think they're going to be around for quite a long time as long as he stays healthy. But I guess the big if with Pat Mahomes is, will he stay healthy? He's much more of a mobile quarterback. Certainly takes more hits than Brady. He's gotten much better at not taking hits. However, I think he's been a lot more protective of himself the last few years. But yeah, there's no denying it anymore. Pat Mahomes and what the Chiefs have done is very impressive. They had a kind of a mediocre season. Well, it was better than mediocre, but it was a good season, but not as good as they normally are, not as dominant as they normally are. But they get into the playoffs and they're just right back to it. It's pretty unbelievable, and it really reminds me of the Brady Patriot teams, how they could have a season where they had some questionable losses, and then they go to the postseason, and bam, they're in the Super Bowl. It's pretty unbelievable. What are your thoughts, Jared?
Where do I start? I'll start with the Lions. Obviously, I was pulling heavily for the Lions, even though I actually picked the 49ers. Yeah, I mean, you can't blow that lead. Andy hit the nail on the head. Inexcusable. You talk about Dan Campbell a little bit. There's obviously two sides to that. Some can maybe give him props for sticking with what he's done all season, going forward in those big situations. And not kind of differing from what he's done again throughout the whole season that's got him to that point. But on the flip side, in a game like that, maybe you have to think about kicking the field goal. You got the Super Bowl on the line, or going to the Super Bowl on the line. Maybe differentiate a little bit, and again, do what you have to do to try to win the game. Again, really tough loss. I think they got away a little bit from what they like to do offensively in the second half, and you give the Niners credit. But yeah, that one obviously stings. They obviously still had a great season getting to that point. But yeah, that one was tough. As for the Ravens, you got to give Steve Spagnuolo and his defense a lot of credit on the Chiefs. That Ravens offense is good, and they really held them in check. Lamar Jackson didn't come up when he needed to. Zay Flowers, who I love, BC guy, a couple of key errors. The fumble on the 1 yard line, etc. I don't think he had a key drop as well.
Those were two awful errors by Zay
Flowers.
I
know. Yeah,
5 receptions
they
for
hurt.
150 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown was incredible. That was the first and only touchdown the Ravens scored. But those errors were terrible. I
agree. I don't disagree at all, Tom. I don't disagree at all.
Yeah.
Just really tough. Yeah, I mean, but again, give the Chiefs credit. I don't exactly think they played great either, but they did enough to win. And that's what you got to sometimes do. And yeah, give them credit.
Yeah, absolutely. As much as I hate to say it, you have to give big props to Travis Kelce as well.
Yeah, he had a nice game. He did have a nice game.
He was 11 for 11, 116 yards.
Yep.
He was
and a touchdown
to be reckoned with. And Mahomes 30 for 39. That's pretty good. No denying that.
He is a heck of a quarterback. Love him or hate him, he's a heck of a quarterback.
And going into the Super Bowl, I want the 49ers to win. I think the 49ers have more talent. But then you got to think, well, Mahomes is probably the next Brady. Who would you pick if it's Brady? So we're going to pick in the show, but I'm still on the fences right now. So
it's hard to bet against him. You just can't.
Really is.
After this run, he goes into Buffalo. He wins in Buffalo. Then he goes into Baltimore and he wins in Baltimore. We expected him to beat the Dolphins. All right, now there's really no more debate. There's no more arguing. You know, he's the guy right now. That's it, plain and simple. Whether you like him or not. Same with Travis Kelce. Helps a lot. Mahomes and Kelsey, it's just like Gronkowski and Brady. It's pretty much it's very very similar. And how many times did the Patriots ever go into a big game thinking, "Oh, they're not going to win this game"? What was the difference? We had number 12. That was the difference, and that's where it all starts in this league. It starts with your quarterback.
Yeah. And just look at Kansas City. I mean, they don't really have impressive weapons besides Kelsey. They don't have good receivers. Rashee Rice, I guess you could throw in there.
Isaiah Pacheco has really impressed me. He's solid. But yes, you're right. They've won without Tyreek Hill. They've won without some of these other big players. They're just a good organization. They know how to win, and they've been doing it now for over 6 or 7 years. They're probably not going to be slowing down anytime soon. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going anywhere. He's probably a franchise player there, most likely. So I mean, they're going to be in the hunt for the next probably 5 years.
Isaiah Pacheco is extremely impressive. He runs extremely hard.
Yes.
Probably one of the hardest running backs in the league. The way that guy runs downhill, insane.
I was proud to have him on my fantasy team all season long.
Solid player.
Hopefully he could be one of my keepers next year. He does. He's an extremely impressive running back. I think Rashee Rice is going to be a guy to look out for.
Love Rashee Rice. Great player. Heck of a player.
Tyreek Hill speed almost. He has a lot of potential.
Does a lot of things well. Can go over the middle. Has great hands. Runs great routes. Really, really good player.
Yeah, I mean, at first his hands were kind of a problem. He was dropping a lot of passes, but he kind of
wasn't dropping passes on that team though. Everybody was dropping passes on that team.
Right. He got over that though in the second half of the season, and really was the only receiver doing anything for a while.
Yep.
But Mahomes doesn't need much. It's just like Brady. I mean, with Brady, he didn't have the best weapons. I mean, obviously there was the Moss years, and Moss exploded, and he had Gronk and guys like that, and Edelman, but he didn't need the best weapons to go all the way. He could take pretty much any group of receivers of the Super Bowl as long as he had one or two somewhat reliable guys, and Mahomes is kind of the same type of quarterback. I think the one thing that really stood out to me is Lamar Jackson may be the best regular season quarterback in the league, but when it comes to the playoffs, Mahomes is the best playoff quarterback.
Yep.
Right now he is.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He did. Yep. Lamar Jackson looked lost in this game. He was just totally lost. Yep. I mean, you got to start thinking if you're the Raven. I mean, are you going to win with this guy? Because doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I mean, when he threw the touchdown in the first quarter, a nice beauty.
Oh, it was a great pass.
Zay Flowers. I'm like, all right, here we go. We're gonna have a shootout. No. This is gonna be a crazy 33-30 kind of game. Nope, not so much at all. That was the last touchdown he would throw that game.
And again, they were out of sync, but you also give credit to the Chiefs' defense. Spagnuolo, had it dialed up.
Chris Jones, just
he's a difference maker.
A difference maker on this team. Chris Jones changed everything. And Steve Spagnuolo, what more can you say about this guy? He just gets it done. He gets it done. He's got it done against all the great quarterbacks, including Tom Brady. Now Lamar Jackson. The list just goes on and on.
Now, I know on this show we're going to concentrate mostly on the playoffs and the Super Bowl. We'll get to the coaching on next week's show or whenever the next show is. But one thing I do want to say, if that Chiefs job becomes available, Belichick should be all over that. That would be the perfect situation.
I don't know why Washington wasn't all over Belichick, and they hired Dan Quinn today, which is an atrocious hiring. But the fact that they didn't hire Belichick is absolutely insane and will always be insane.
Well, I don't. They don't want a 72-year-old that wants full control. I think that's really
that's ridiculous.
That teams aren't biting at Belichick,
or Vrabel for that matter. But again, that's a different story.
Yeah, I'm more surprised Vrabel didn't get hired. I mean.
Well, you're not a Bill guy. You're not a Belichick guy. So
Belichick might have a tough time getting hired because he seems like he could be a bit of a control freak. And I thought it was a very possible scenario that no one wants to give him control because his teams have not been good the last 2 years and he's 72 years old. So we'll certainly talk more about that. We got a lot of coaching things to talk about in next week's show, but I do want to talk a little bit about the upcoming Super Bowl we got between the Chiefs and the 49ers. We'll do picks, and we're going to pick some props and have some fun. And this will help determine the champion of this year's picks. Heading into the Super Bowl, I'm in first with 183 points. Jared is a close second with 179. Mike's right in there at 175.5. Steve has 169.5. Andy has 168. So we're all right in there. We all have a chance, and there's some points to be earned here in the Super Bowl. So, Chiefs, 49ers. Well, I'll tell you my initial thoughts about this game. I think the 49ers have a slight edge defensively. When it comes to the quarterback situation, you got to go Chiefs there. The one thing the 49ers have that could really be a huge burden on the Chiefs is Christian McCaffrey. He's just pretty much an automatic touchdown every game. The Chiefs are pretty good against the run, but no team has really been great at stopping McCaffrey. So I'd say that's the X factor for the 49ers. What are your thoughts on this matchup? Andy, what are your thoughts on this Super Bowl matchup?
Well, I agree. I think the 49ers do have more talent, but the bottom line is that the Chiefs have Mahomes. Again, I just keep going back to this. I've surrendered. I'm waving the flag here. I can't bet against this guy anymore. Just can't do it. And a lot of people probably are picking the 49ers here to win, but I just can't do it. Can't do it. I'm going with the Chiefs, and I think it's going to be a tight game. And I actually don't think it's going to be a very high scoring game. I think it's going to be a good defensive game because the 49ers defense is very good with Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. I mean, they're very, very good. They have a good secondary, but I just can't bet against Mahomes. I can't do it.
What do you got for a score?
21-17 Chiefs.
All right. So you're going under.
Yes.
21-17 for the Chiefs. Jared, what do you got? What are your thoughts?
I think this is going to be a really good game. Again, has all the makings of a really quality game with talent on both sides. Again, I just hope we don't see a stinker. But as much as we've talked about not betting against Mahomes here, I'm going to go the opposite and actually take the 49ers. I think the 49ers have kind of the right matchups in different skill positions and on defense to be able to match up with the Chiefs well. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think the 49ers might be able to give the Chiefs some problems in different areas on both sides of the ball. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Give me the 49ers 24-20.
All right.
I think the key could be Kelsey, because I think the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken, are one of the best teams in the league at covering the opposing tight end. They might try to make other guys beat them, like Rashee Rice or whatever, and really kind of key on Kelsey. But obviously you have to, watch out for Pacheco as well. I like the Niners here.
Good point, Jared, because they did a really good job on Sam Laporta.
Yep.
Really was not much of a factor in that game.
Yep.
For the Lions when they played the Lions. Yeah.
And Sam Laporta is a great tight end too.
Oh yeah.
He had a phenomenal season.
Well, I guess I have to pick who I think. I can tell you who I want. This is a tough pick.
It is tough.
It is tough.
It really is.
It's not easy.
There's just something I could just picture the most obnoxious ending ever to this game. I think Chiefs are going to win. I don't want them to win, but I just have this feeling that we're going to see Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce at the end of the game, kissing and stuff like that. And it's just going to be an obnoxious ending. I think it's going to be a 33-30 Chiefs win. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. Both the 49ers have a good defense, but the way Mahomes is playing right now, I don't know if anyone can stop him. I think whatever you throw at him, he's just going to find a way around. And actually, that score is a little ridiculous. Let me go 30-27. I'll go 30-27. Because the 49ers have a good defense, they'll keep it in the high 50s instead of the low 60s.
Let me ask you this. What does this do? 49ers win this. What does this do for Brock Purdy? I mean, this is really going to elevate his career because this guy was a 6th-round pick, and he's gotten him to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's pretty impressive how they've hit on this guy.
Kind of
He's a good
somebody.
But
somebody perhaps that was a 7th-round pick named Tom Brady.
But you think of it, right? I mean, he can get out of the pocket pretty good. I didn't realize how fast he was.
Yep.
And he's tough. He hangs in there. Like this
certainly elevates his status as one of the best, starting QBs in the league. You can't say he's the best, obviously, but certainly elevates his his status or whatever you want to call it. Or
he takes down Pat Mahomes. I mean, that's a big one.
That's my thoughts on Purdy. I think he's a good quarterback. I mean, I would definitely, if I'm building a team, certainly take him.
Yeah.
But I think he's mistake prone. I think sometimes he makes bad decisions. He is capable of throwing bad interceptions.
Yep.
It's rare. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen every game, but it's happened in a couple big moments. It's happened in the playoffs a couple times. I think he threw one against the Lions. That was pretty bad.
All right, let's hit a couple of props here.
He's a guy, though, that it could go ugly quick with him sometimes, especially in a big game like this. I think it's going to show what he's made out of. I think it's going to show what kind of quarterback is this guy. Is he a playoff quarterback, or is he just a good regular season quarterback? I mean, with the 49ers' weapons, that has helped them. With Mahomes, you don't need that great of weapons. With this guy, you need some good weapons. And the 49ers, they have much better weapons than the Chiefs. I mean, imagine if Mahomes had Deebo Samuel and Ayuk. Forget about it.
Oh, man. Forget about it.
Forget about it. But Purdy with these guys and McCaffrey, I mean, they have built around Purdy. And that's what has led to his success in a large way. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback at all. I think he's probably one of the top 15 in the league, for sure. But I think this is a guy that needs weapons, but he has them. So that's the good thing for the 49ers. If you gave him the Chiefs receiving core, I don't think he's even in this game. So I think that's the big difference there. So I guess this game's going to come down to who's going to shine more. Is it going to be McCaffrey, Samuel, and Ayuk, or is it going to be Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce, really, as far as the offensive side? And, of course, there's the defensive factor. The 49ers have a tremendous pass rush, probably the best in the league. They have excellent defensive weapons that are capable of getting big interceptions.
Fred Warner is an animal. Love that guy. What a player.
Very good player. Very good player.
13 tackles against the Lions. And Jair Brown had 10.
Wow. That's unbelievable. What I mean,
that's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
And Debo was on fire. 8 receptions for 89 yards.
That guy just competes. I mean,
he's tough, man. He's tough.
Doesn't stop competing.
He is tough.
20 rush attempts, 90 yards. So he's averaging almost 5 yards a rush. So they have the weapons, much better weapons than the Chiefs. But, is it going to be another Tom Brady-like moment for Mahomes, or are the 49ers just going to have way too much for the Chiefs to deal with? This game could easily go either way. There's just – because the 49ers, essentially, they have – everything is better about the 49ers except the quarterback.
So the same thing about the Ravens, and look what happened,
Yeah, and the Ravens, they're a team that absolutely crushed the 49ers during the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. I mean, I bet you the Chiefs are going to have a very similar game plan because they're dealing with a very similar team. But I think the 49ers, their weapons are a little bit better. They just didn't have it that day against the Ravens for whatever reason. But that was a game that Purdy was terrible in, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully you get good Purdy and not terrible Purdy because he has had some very bad games this year. But yeah, I got to go Chiefs because you know what? I always pick against them and I'm always wrong. So I'm gonna pick the Chiefs this year. Worst case,
All right.
maybe I jinx them. But we do have some props to pick. So let's
Guys, I got to hop off, unfortunately, but I'll text you my prop picks.
All
And
right.
yeah. Sorry, I got to
Right,
split early,
Jared.
guys.
Thanks for joining us, Jared.
Okay, Jared.
Andy will stay on. We'll do our props. So we got our first prop, George Kittle over under 46.5 yards.
I'm going over there.
All right. I'm going to go over on that one too.
Over.
Over across the board.
I'm going under on Kelsey, and I'm going over on Rashee Rice. And then I'll text the rest of mine.
Sounds good. Got it.
All right, guys.
Travis Kelce.
Take it easy.
See you later. Travis Kelce, over under 69.5 yards. I'm going over. He's been unbelievable in the playoffs.
Same here.
All right. And then we got Deebo Samuel, over under 57.5. I'm going over. He's been the key weapon for the 49ers. I don't see why that changes.
Yep, I'm over.
Yeah, let's see. Brandon Ayuk, over under 62.5. I'm going to go, I'll go over. He didn't have
Over
a great...
Yeah.
Over?
Yeah, it all starts with Samuel and Ayuk. These guys, that's their... If only the Patriots could get a tandem like this, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, first they need a somewhat of a quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. Did we do Kelce yet? Did we do Travis Kelce yet?
No, not yet. Yeah, we did. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going over with them too.
Yeah, I got you for over.
Okay.
So yeah, Ayuk, he actually only had 3 receptions, 68 yards, and it wasn't. It was a great yardage on the receptions.
Just big plays. He makes big plays for this team. He's tough. He competes just like Deebo Samuel. And the Niners receivers are very underrated. Very underrated.
Yeah, they certainly are. Now the big question is Deebo 100%? Because he did get a little shooken up against the Lions. So
he's going to play. The guy just competes. He just.
Oh yeah,
love to see that guy in a Patriots uniform. Would be fantastic.
That would be nice.
Defense with Kendrick Bourne, you know.
Yep. Rashee Rice, over under 67.5 yards. I'm gonna go over. I think he's the main weapon there. He gets big yardage on his receptions. He's another guy that could have just 3 or 4 receptions and have 50, 60 yards. So I'll go over, but I'm more uncertain on that one.
Going under. I'm going under.
I like it. And I'll just go over on everything. Actually, he had, you know what? I'm changing mine to under, looking at his stats against Baltimore. Because he had 8 receptions, 46 yards. I overestimated him. I'm going under. I think it's going to be mainly Kelce. I'll tell you one thing that the 49ers, I think, are going to get right. They're going to actually put more than one guy on Travis Kelce, unlike Baltimore.
What
was with Baltimore's defensive scheme there? Why are you only covering Kelce with one guy like the whole game? What were they thinking?
Let me just say this. John Harbaugh, he has had some bad playoff games. I mean, terrible coaching. Andy Reid totally out.
Valdez Scantling or something.
Horrible. Andy Reid totally outclassed John Harbaugh in that game.
Yeah, he should get criticized over that one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Marquez Valdez Scantling. Over under 18.5 yards.
Under.
I'm going to go over. He had 38 yards last game on 2 receptions. He's another big yardage guy, low receptions. I think he'll get 21 yards. So I'll go over. All right. Rasheed Rice. Oh no, we did that one. Okay. Christian McCaffrey. Over under 90.5 rushing yards. Last game, just for reference, he had 90 on the nose.
It's a tough one.
What are you doing?
Under. Just because I think the Chiefs defense is just they're good against the run. I mean, I know McCaffrey's good, but sometimes you never know, with him. It's especially with Chris Jones, he just changes everything for the Chiefs.
I'm very
Good torn on this, aren't
I'm
you?
gonna go under because I think he's gonna have 89 rushing yards, and
If he gets over 90 yards, I'm gonna
he's probably gonna have 40 additional reception yards.
oh yeah, he gets a lot. Yeah, yeah, great player. I
The
mean,
Chiefs are gonna make him throw. I mean,
yes,
they're good up front, so they'll be
Yep.
able to run a little bit, of course, because it's McCaffrey, best in the league, but they're gonna have to throw. All right, Isaiah Pacheco, over under 65.5. I'm going over on that one.
under,
Yeah, right.
going under.
I think there'll be some screens.
Yeah, I would think so.
All right, Mahomes over under 260.5. I'm going over. They're not going to be able to run that much.
Over. Yeah.
Brock Purdy over under 242.5 passing yards.
Under.
Mm.
Going under.
What did he have last game here? Gotta switch back. I think he had quite a bit because they were forced to. Well, actually, he did because they were forced to throw a lot.
262.
All right. I'm going over 242. They're not gonna be able to run that much. Give me the over. All right, Mahomes over under 1.5 touchdown passes. Over. Brock Purdy over under 1.5 touchdown passes.
Under.
Yeah, I think that in the goal line situation, you give it to McCaffrey. So I'm going.
Of course. Yep. There you go.
And the most important one, coin flip, heads or tails.
Tails never fails, Tom. Going with tails.
I'm going to go heads just to be different from you.
Man. Well, it's
There
a 50-50 shot.
Our prop picks.
50-50 chance.
Yes. I might have to throw some little wagers on some of these. I like some of these numbers here.
See some of these prop bets though, like how long the national anthem is going to be sung, or like who kicks the first field goal, who scores the first touchdown.
I wonder if they'll have one. How many times will they show Taylor Swift?
Oh, they will. Yeah, it's in Vegas too. Like, I mean,
whatever it is, go with the over.
Go with the over. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, they're gonna show her like. Well, no, they'll rig that one though. See, that's the thing. They could rig that one easily. They'll just tell CBS, "Hey, you can only show her 14.5 times."
My goodness. I mean, but yeah, some of these bets you see are just the amount of money this game brings in is just it's off the charts. But let me ask you this though. Does it still have the I don't think it still has the well, I'm trying to find a word to use maybe the pizzazz that it used to. I don't know. I feel like it's becoming yes. I feel like it's becoming really just becoming an exhibition or a spectacle. Like,
No, it's always been like that. I still think it's huge. I mean, everyone still watches it. I think there's maybe too much Hollywood stuff in it sometimes, but
pregame's too long.
It's a spectacle. It's always been like that, though. The week leading up to it. People look forward to it. I know I do, even though I don't really like either team in it. I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm still going to go out in the afternoon and, visit various establishments and make a day of it. I think a lot of people are like that. I think people plan things around the Super Bowl.
It's
So
true. Super
I
Bowl
think it's
parties and gatherings. Let me ask you this. Somebody asked me this the other day. Should the Super Bowl be on a Saturday?
no. I like it on Sunday, but what they should do is give you Monday off.
See, that's what he was saying. Like, why? Okay, you have it on Sunday, but then you get Monday off because so many people take Monday off.
Yeah,
Like after,
I
I
don't
mean,
know why it's not a national holiday. I
you think
mean,
eventually it will be?
it should be. If you elect me president, that's the first thing I'll do. But it should be.
You would do that. You would do that.
Absolutely. It's the biggest sports day in America.
It
and
is.
it's worth celebrating. It's a tremendous tradition. It really
It is.
is.
And I remember, growing up watching, yeah, we watched the Super Bowls, like we'd have family over and whatnot. And I think maybe in a way, I'm just so spoiled that how many Super Bowls the Patriots went to and the way they won that Super Bowl against Seattle and Atlanta. You are talking levels that we may never see again. I don't think you're ever going to see a 25-point deficit. That's unprecedented. It really is. I mean, because when you and I were growing up, Tom, if there was a 25-point lead at halftime, the game was over. It was over.
Let's see Mahomes come back from that.
I wouldn't put it past him. If anybody can do it, it's him.
Well,
okay?
actually, the last time the 49ers and Chiefs met was just a few years ago. What, 2019?
19, the year before COVID.
Wasn't there – the 49ers had a big lead for a while. Weren't they up?
They had like a 10-point lead, and then they blew it. They stopped playing. They stopped coaching, and Jimmy Garoppolo blew it. And, but just real quick, what the Patriots did with Seattle and Atlanta was just –
especially the Atlanta comeback.
Off the charts.
That will never be repeated, ever.
No. Guy lost $1 million on that. He had $1 million on Atlanta, and he lost. The worst. I mean, just the way that happened. All the Patriots Super Bowls, though they won, were tremendous. Maybe the one against the Rams wasn't great, but my goodness. I mean,
if you threw money live betting when the Pats were down 31-3, you had yourself a great night.
You did. And let me just say, like, I mean, it's just the records they set in these Super Bowls. How many records did the Patriots set in Super Bowls? Most of them were by Brady anyways, but maybe that's why I'm missing it a little bit. But I just think the pregame is too long. I think there's too much buildup. There's too much hype to it. Now with social media, remember when the first Super Bowl came out, 80s and 90s, it really wasn't like this. But it is still big. There's no doubt about it. The price to go to it is insane. It's absolutely
that's ridiculous.
Super Bowl one, it was $10.
But people pay it, so why not? People pay it. They're going to get every penny they can. I don't watch most of the pregame stuff. I'm usually bouncing around town. Or the thing I like is when they have basketball, NBA on, and NHL during the day.
True,
I mean,
Celtics
NBA
play.
and NHL should totally slam the afternoon with games.
Absolutely, because I don't want to watch the pregame. Put the NHL and NBA on. Put them on. Put the games on.
Most people would rather watch an NBA or an NHL game over pregame coverage of the Super Bowl.
Totally agree. Celtics are playing in the afternoon, I believe, and they always usually do. And just slam it, put something on. I mean, just to get people ready for that 6:30 p.m. start. But if you think about it, if you're on the West Coast, game starts at 3:30. You're done by 6:30, which is weird, because you're in Las Vegas.
Totally different world out there.
Totally different world
than the
West
Sunday mornings,
Coast.
And you got most of the NFL games at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
I can't
10
even
a.m. on the West Coast.
that.
You're done by 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. What do you do with the rest of your day?
Go to the beach. That's what I do. Go rollerblade into something. But
go to the beach, I guess.
Can you believe this? Though Super Bowl 58 is almost 60 years of the Super Bowl. It's just it's incredible, really. Think of all the people that have been involved. The halftime shows and.
I love it. As a football fan, it's like your holiday. It's a celebration
of
the sport you love, and obviously it's better when a team that you like or really want to root for is in it.
Of
But
course, of
even
course.
when there's not, it's still something you look forward to.
I will
I mean,
say it's less stressful when the Patriots aren't in
right.
because they never made it easy. I mean,
It's
never.
less stressful, but you're a little less excited too.
True. No,
Like,
you are, and I can say this. Can you imagine if this was Buffalo and Detroit? Just how many people would have watched this
oh,
game?
see,
It would have.
that would be exciting. That would be
This
awesome.
is what I'm saying. 49ers and Chiefs, so they've been to a lot of Super Bowls, but they are good fan bases. But man, that would have been off the charts. You would have been talking. I bet you the whole entire country would have been watching
Well, I'll
if it
tell
was the
you what,
Lions and Bills.
as long as the Lions are going to use analytics, they're not going to make any Super Bowl because it doesn't work.
Listen, 1957 was the last time they won a road playoff game. It's absolutely that's impossible. Really, really. You had a 17-point lead, Tom, and you lost. Like I just my goodness.
Well,
I couldn't
Buffalo's
believe
had
it.
the worst history in the Super
Oh,
Bowl.
they went to 4 straight Super Bowls, which is
Yep.
unbelievable. And those
And
Bills
lost
teams,
all 4 of them.
but they
I
were
just saw a
great. They
clip
were
the other day. What year was it? 93?
oh, they got smashed by Dallas. They weren't winning that game.
Cowboys. No, the Cowboys kicked a game-winning field goal to win it by 1.
Oh, during the regular season?
No, it was a Super Bowl.
Oh,
I
because the
think.
Cowboys. You remember when they played?
Was it
They
the
played
Giants?
Dallas.
No, it was the Giants. I think.
Giants. The Giants.
Giants.
They weren't beating those Dallas teams. They were on another level. I mean, just that. Oh man, Jim Kelly. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Patriots could have drafted him too. They said they took Tony Eason. They had a chance to draft Jim Kelly in 1983.
Well, they made
Just
up for
just
it in the 2000s.
just real quickly in
I
that
guess.
draft, Tom, John Elway, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly all went in that draft.
Wow.
It's just three of the best quarterbacks maybe we've seen. And the Patriots took Tony Eason.
Well, I guess at least they got Brady in the 2000s, but yeah, those years were painful.
Oh man, yeah. But
Well,
yeah, look forward to the Super Bowl and let's just hope for a good game. You don't want to see a blowout. I mean, it's just I think one of the more
I'll be shocked if this is a blowout.
now it's gonna be a close game. One of the most exciting Super Bowls I've seen was actually one you probably forgot. Rams and Titans in 2000. It was a year before the Patriots went to the Super
Oh,
Bowl.
I remember that. Yeah.
When Kevin Dyson was 1 yard short of sending it into overtime. He
Yes.
literally reached his hand and just was this short.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Super Bowls the last few years, they've been good. They've been good games. I mean, last year, Eagles Chiefs was a good game.
Yep.
You had Rams and Bengals. That was
Rams
a
and
good
Bengals was
game.
good.
Went
Yeah.
to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great games. And I think this one's going to be no different. I'll be very surprised if it's a blowout in any direction. I think it'll be a 3-point game. I think it'll be very close. It'll go down to the wire. There'll be suspense. And we've had good Super Bowls the last few years. So
Yeah.
maybe not the teams we wanted, but at least the games were good. But
Next year they'll be in New Orleans in the Superdome, and Tom Brady probably be on the broadcast because Fox will be carrying the Super Bowl next year. And the one thing I really, really hope that the NFL does not do not put the Super Bowl on Amazon. Please. No streaming.
if they can't, if they do that,
It's
and
over.
you can only get it from a stupid app,
It's over.
that should be an arrestable offense. They should arrest all the NFL executives, arrest Goodell. They should do that anyway, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, Tom, the way the NFL is going, I would not be shocked if that happened. So
I don't
get
like
ready.
any playoff game on just apps, but if you do it on the Super Bowl, I think that would create too much outrage. I really do.
Can the streaming services even handle it? That's the thing. I mean, it's
No, I
just
doubt it. They could barely handle a regular season game, let alone a Super Bowl.
well, look, the WWE, for example, they're going to Netflix next year on Monday Night Raw, exclusively on Netflix. You're going to lose a lot of people. Telling you.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised they're doing that. Isn't their audience already kind of dwindling?
It's going to after this. I mean, I get Netflix, but people don't. People don't want the streaming services. I mean,
I
they
mean,
want
there'll
to
be
watch.
some people that get it just for wrestling, but you're only going to get it's only wrestling fans that'll get it. Like the casual watcher, the casual viewer, they're not going to go out and get Netflix just to watch the Monday Night Raw. They're
No,
not going to do it.
no, you got to be an actual
And most
wrestling fan.
wrestling
But
fans are, teenagers. So, they're going to have to beg their parents to get Netflix so they can watch Monday Night Raw now.
the old adage was like, kids, get your parents' permission before calling.
Well,
So
I'll
it's
tell you
like,
what. I mean, clearly it's leading to what's coming in the future, phasing out cable. Cable's going to be bye-bye soon enough. It's going to be all apps.
it definitely looks like it's heading that way. But yeah, I
But
just
anyways,
hope.
we're going off on a tangent.
Yeah,
Let's
I
wrap
know.
up the show. Any final thoughts, Andy? Even though we just had about 100 final thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say I was very saddened to hear about the passing of former Red Sox manager Jimmy Williams this past week. He was 80 years old. Leaves behind, I know, his family, and I thought he was a solid manager for this team. He took them to the 1999 ALCS, and I believe he was let go the following year, and then they replaced him with Grady Little. But I thought he was a solid manager. I really did. He came from the Atlanta Braves. He was good there. I think he won a World Series with them in the 90s. And I was just sad to hear that. He seemed like a really nice guy. He was very good with his pitchers. He was a really good. He once benched Pedro Martinez for being late, and really was kind of a no nonsense guy. And seemed like a nice guy too. He's 80 years old, lived a good life, and I just wanted to say, rest in peace and condolences to his family.
Absolutely terrific manager, and may he rest in peace. Certainly a good piece of Red Sox history. My final thought is, believe it or not, we are getting in the final few weeks of the winter season. End of February, it wraps up. We get into playoffs, so these games are crucial to catch all the Hiller action and what games we will have. Just head over to our website, hcam.tv. And my other final thought is the Detroit Lions should fire their entire analytics department, because that is why they will not be there at Super Bowl Sunday. Analytics ruins sports. Get rid of it. And just go back to, I don't know, using your brain instead of computers to determine what you're going to do. I think it works a little bit better. But that is going to wrap up the show for Jared Keane, Andy Barron. I'm Tom Nappy. As always, thank you for watching. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. We'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Saturday morning cartoons are back. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., HCAM's Toon Time has an hour of classic cartoons, from Betty Boop to Superman to Popeye to Bugs Bunny and more. You'll see your old favorites and discover new ones. So tune in to Toon Time, Saturdays at 8, and start your weekend off with a laugh.